Hello everybody out there watching on YouTube, and welcome to race number 7 of Season 4 of the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series. I'm Levi McIntyre, the voice of the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series, here to welcome you to the Golden Corral 500 here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, as we're getting set for 45 laps of racing here at one of the fastest mile-and-a-half racetracks on the schedule. But I am not alone, as for the first time in quite a long time joining me for co-commentary, please welcome the slapstick man himself, Preston Blord.
Hey, what's up, Levi? You're definitely not wrong. It has been such a long time, but I'm not going to be rusty one bit at the NR 2003 co-commentary. How's everybody doing tonight?
Shitty. Not really.
Easter's coming up, dude, and today's Good Friday. How can you be shitty?
I had too much to eat. That's why. Alright,
let's not say we did.
Yeah, so anyways, before we take a look at the starting lineup for this race, we, of course, have to look at the point standings coming into the race today. Considering, with this season's chase format, we're doing top 12 and 2 wildcard drivers. So right now, Carson Gum still leads the point standings over Trent Dunham. Third is Charles Sanford, fourth Dylan Poteet, and then fifth Seth Cole, sixth Dylan Young, seventh Dylan Jacobs, eighth Joshua Sekuli, ninth Jessica Sheldon, 10th DJ Curtis, 11th Johnny Gardner, and then a tie for 12th with Jay Jefferson and James Quall. So currently the two wildcard drivers who are the highest drivers inside the top 30 in points but outside the top 12 in points with a win currently are James McLeod and Joshua Collard. But we still got a long way to go before we really decide who's going to be a factor for the chase.
Amen, brother.
But without further ado, let's take a look at the lineup. Starting in the last row is John Cittadino, Jonathan Zorline. Top 10, Carson Gunn, the points leader, is on the pole for today. Starting next to him is Matt Haas. Row 2 is Dylan Thoreau and the defending champion Matt McIntyre. Row 3, Jay Jefferson, Dorian Facepuncher. Row 4, Emmanuel Hartnett, Dylan Young, and then Row 5, Cody Smart and Paul Minnick. Without further ado, let's get the command to fire engines for the Golden Corral 500 at Atlanta.
Drivers, start your engines!
So all 42 cars on track for their one pace lap around here. Now, the interesting thing with Atlanta is that this racetrack, very similar to tracks such as Texas in terms of the speeds and how these drivers can manage three-wide racing. Of course, the preferred line you want to be on is the bottom lane, considering that's the fastest way around, and drivers like to take advantage of that bottom lane in hopes of getting stuff done and getting all the track position they could possibly get.
And 4 wide at Atlanta, that's like making toast with your hands in the toaster. You just do not do it. Hopefully these guys can be smart out there.
Well, we shall see how that all turns out. But typically, whenever I notice 4 wide here at Atlanta, for the most part, they do tend to try and settle it out back to 3 wide or even double wide racing. But we'll see how it all plays out as the pace car's in pit road. And you know what time it is? It's time to boogity, boogity, boogity go racing.
Alright, is anyone going to go 3 wide in the first corner? Oh, I called it! Yep, we're going 3 wide for the lead already. Man, it's like when the flagman waves the green flag. It's like it's translated to the pizza shop is closing in 5 minutes, and everyone's like, "Oh shit, we need to get there fast." That's a weird analogy, but it looks like car number 6 is leading the first lap.
Yeah, that was Dylan Thoreau who led the first lap, and we got a new second place driver, Emmanuel Hartnett, in the 20 now right there. But here comes the 26 of Cody Smart. And coming in to make it 3 wide is Daytona 500 winner James McLeod in the 51. But Dylan Thoreau continues to hang on to the lead as positions continue to shuffle throughout the field right now. As I see the 17 of Ryan Brommer, who's a rookie for that team. He goes up to 3rd, and Rafael LeDuc in that WWE 2K18 Toyota up to 4th.
Yeah, let's try and tow down the 3 wide here. It's making me a little bit nervous. I know it's Atlanta and it's wide, but you just don't want to tempt fate. Oh no! I thought I saw someone wrecking. I guess I just panicked.
Anyways, we got a challenger for the lead. James McLeod goes to the point currently. And James McLeod is definitely looking to try and back up that Daytona 500 win, because ever since he won the Daytona 500, he's been gradually slipping in the point standings to the point where currently in the standings he is 23rd, fell 9 spots after last week. And I can't remember what track. I believe it was Michigan last week. But McLeod looking to try and rebound, and right now he has that spot as a couple of rookies are starting to battle it out for second, Ryan Brommer and Cody Smart. As the battle for 4th goes on, Kyle Matthews trying to go by Zach Flickinger, and Jay Jefferson, Jessica Sheldon, Joshua Collar, Joshua Sekuli, among others, trying to follow suit.
Hey, who's that fellow in that good-looking Pepsi car?
In the what?
In the good-looking Pepsi car.
The Pepsi car, that would be Preston Plord.
Hello! I'm sure drinking a lot of Pepsi in there.
Anyways, James McLeod is starting to pull away from the rest of the field as everybody behind him's been battling hard for position. But Cody Smart did gain a little bit of time on the 51. That could be because there is a bit of a draft effect here at this racetrack where if you got somebody behind you, you can gain a little bit of time on drivers who are a little bit strung out ahead of you, and being the 51, and you can definitely tell they are closing the gap on the 51. But still plenty of time for a lot of other things to take place. As meanwhile, battle for 5th, Joshua Collard, the most recent winner, he won at Michigan last week, looking to go 2 in a row here this week.
I don't think the 26 car is catching up because of draft. I think he's catching up just because Burger King's on the car. As we all know, when you fill up your fuel cell with Burger King beef, it makes you go really fast.
Not the good kind of fast, though. Let's keep that in mind. Anyways, Jay Jefferson. So far, Jay Jefferson, in my opinion, is probably the most improved driver from last season. Last season, he had a very miserable rookie season. He missed a lot of races. Currently comes into this race 12th in the point standings. And he missed the Daytona 500, but he's made every race since. And he's had some solid, decent, consistent runs. Currently in the top 5, though he just lost 3rd to Joshua Collard and might lose a couple more spots, but he's still hanging on strong in the top 10. Right behind him, Joshua Sekuli in that number 82 car. And Sekuli comes into this race 8th in the point standings after dropping 5 spots after Michigan. He's looking to get a little bit of redemption for himself. And look at Dylan Young. Dylan Young I saw slip back in the pack a little bit, and now he's found himself back up here in the top 10.
And a few minutes ago, we just saw my boy from England, Josh Collard, get back into get onto the bottom step of the podium there. So it looks like he's got a fast car early on.
As meanwhile, James McLeod has been going back and forth in terms of gaining more time over everyone behind him or losing time. Right now, he's been pulling away from the 26. I don't know, just maybe the 26 and company need more cars around them for them to really make any kind of gain on the 51. That or the 51 sees them coming and he tries to shut the door on them every chance he gets.
It might be the latter, but who knows? It's early on. Anything can happen.
Plus, not
I
to
mean,
mention, pit strategy could become a big thing momentarily. I would assume we could see green flag pit stops within the next 5 to 6 laps.
I think if yours truly can catch up to that 2 of Dylan Young, I think we can form a big enough train to catch McLeod, but I could be mistaken.
Yeah, you can tell they are starting to catch him now that more cars have caught up to the back bumper of Jessica Shelton. They're able to work together a little bit in a bit of a freight train formation to try a gain on the 51, but it's going to be the challenge of if they can get around the 51 is going to be the big question, or will the 51 just block the field as much as possible?
Well, McLeod does love to throw block parties.
Ha ha ha.
Yeah, obvious pun is obvious, I know. But anyway, looks like someone's making a pass for 4th. Or 5th, excuse me.
Well, Dylan Young thought about trying to go for it, but didn't have a big enough run to make it stick, so he's going to stay where he is currently. Let's see the margin between the top 2 as it stands now. And the 51 pulled away by 0.02 of a second, but we'll see how this lap goes for everyone.
Come on, Pepsi Mobile, everything you have!
Now Dylan Young, now he gets a huge run on the 82 to try and take the 5th spot away. Oh, but I see the 26. He is now closing in on the back bumper of the 51. Will he be able to get a bigger run here in 1 and 2 and then try and go for a move in 3 and 4 perhaps?
I think he'll pull off the slingshot and the front straightaway, but he's gonna need some big help from Josh Collard to do that.
Yeah, because now it looks like he's kind of slipped a little bit, but he's still within reach. Let's see the margin. Yeah, McLeod gained about 0.04 of a second, but still the 26 is there.
And the 42 car is losing ground to the 21, so that's gonna split the packs up a bit, and we've just got a train of 6 cars at the moment.
We could be seeing pit stops.
Yeah,
the 26 and the 51 are coming in. So is the 42 of Matthews. Trying to see who else is coming in. It's kind of hard to go through all. There we go. Other cars I can tell, Jefferson is in. It looks like Thoreau is in. Dougie Shears is in. Carson Gum, the points leader's in. William Brock and Zachary Fitzwater is all in. So these are the first group of cars to come down pit road. And now here comes the majority of the rest of the field coming in now.
Yeah, more often than not, we usually see like a very small amount of cars pit on the first lap of the pit cycle, but we got a humongous pack coming in.
Yeah, pretty much the rest of the field came in at the same time, so this is going to be interesting strategy. About less than 15 cars came in the first group, and then everyone else came in the second group.
And just like that, pit road is just about as congested as a Disney World line.
Well then.
I've learned that the hard way. Anyway, it looks like Jessica Shelton, if that's the 9 car right there, I see got a really good stop. I can't tell for sure if that's the 9 in that red car. No, it's the 02, excuse me. I could not see the number very well, so sorry about that.
Could she get out ahead for the lead? I don't think so, as here comes the 26. 26 actually beat out the 51 on pit road, so Cody Smart is now the race leader with a bit of a big gap now between himself and McLeod. Sheldon's going to go back to 3rd and a battle on for 4th. Jay Jefferson goes on by Kyle Matthews.
Yeah, I'm just so used to seeing Jessica Shelton in like the 9 or the 94 or something like that, so I just thought the 02 was a bit of a random number for her.
She's had that number for a long time.
I don't know. Anyway, 26 definitely has a huge lead. That's what pit cycles do to you. And McLeod is apparently not very happy about it.
But also, you got to keep in mind, too, depending on the strategy you went for, the whole pack can catch you within a few laps, and Right now, McLeod's slowly gaining, but then again, you got the rest of the cars in the pack starting to catch up to the top two. So we're going to see this pack converge back together here very, very soon. All the way back to Charles Sanford. Where in the world is he at? He's somewhere. I meant Joshua Collard. And that is about 9 cars. And then it's a little over 2 seconds on back to 10th place, John Cittadino.
Yeah, McLeod is going to be very happy because he's going to get the help in the form of a hungry pack of cars charging toward him like little kids charging towards the Chuck E. Cheese animatronics in excitement.
I thought you were going to go Five Nights at Freddy's on that.
Well, then again, I'm pretty sure no one can really go to Chuck E. Cheese's without thinking of Five Nights at Freddy's, but that's a discussion for another time. Looks like Jessica Shelton's getting a huge run on James McLeod, which in turn is going to give McLeod a huge run on the 26 car of Schooley, was it?
Cody Smart.
Sorry about that. But yeah, the 26
Something
car
that you are not.
Shut the hell up. I am an intelligent human being.
Anyways, yeah, you can definitely tell the pack's starting to get back into one again. Pretty much they're all there. And
Just
now
as
here
you
comes
say
Dylan
that, we're
Young
going to go
for
double
a battle
file.
for third. Dylan Young, man on a mission to try and get his first win in quite a while. If I remember right, I think it's been since Season 2 since Dylan Young has won a race. And he's definitely looking to pull it off, as meanwhile McLeod is slowly reeling in the 26.
The G-Diffuser's certainly working in his R-Wing.
So anyways, let's take a look at a full field rundown since we're a few laps now into this after the first round of pit stops. Cody Smart is your race leader, second James McLeod, third Dylan Young, fourth Dylan Thoreau, fifth Jay Jefferson, sixth Joshua Collard, seventh Joshua Sekuli, eighth Jessica Shelton, ninth Kyle Matthews, 10th John Cittadino. 11th is Preston Plord, 12th James Qualls, 13th is Zachary Fitzwater, 14th is Pichu London, 15th is William Brock, 16th is Dougie Shears, 17th Tim Fiegel, 18th is Paul Minnick, 19th Dylan Poteet, 20th Benjamin Miles, 21st Trent Dunham, 22nd Ryan George, 23rd Joshua Michaels, 24th James Shelley, 25th Ryan Brommer, 26th is Devin Becker, 27th Johnny Gardner, 28th Jonathan Zorline, 29th Matt McIntyre, 30th Matt Haas, 31st Anthony McCurry, 32nd Zach Flickinger, 33rd is Sean Galligan, 34th Chris Dollarton, 35th Carson Gum, 36th is Charles Sanford, 37th Seth Cole, 38th Dylan Jacobs, 39th Dorian Facepuncher, 40th Emmanuel Hartnett, 41st Rafael Leduc, and then 42nd is DJ Curtis. Back up here at the front, new leader, Dylan Young is the leader now.
Yeah, when was the last time we had a leader other than James McLeod or Cody Smart?
Right. And Sekuli actually now goes up to second. Both McLeod and Cody Smart are losing a ton of spots. Probably because they're stuck on the outside lane. And, Smart nearly got into the back, into the left rear of McLeod. And that could have been a major problem right there. But Cody Smart backed off. Smart move.
Looks like the podium places are single file. And so is Josh Carter. But it looks like Jessica Shelton's forming another line at the bottom.
Yeah, and McLeod's going to follow her right behind. And actually, I've been keeping an eye on 10th place. About 5 laps ago, 10th place was over 4 seconds back. Now, 10th place, who is James Qualls right now, he's been slowly gaining on that pack of cars all by himself for the most part. So you gotta wonder if maybe Qualls, because of an adjustment that his crew might have made on his car, that's making his car faster than the rest of the field. Meanwhile, Sekuli now is caught Dylan Young in the back bumper, and now we'll see if Sekuli's got a run for the 2-car. Sekuli, who's a 2-time winner last season, including the Daytona 500, and had a great season, made the chase, finished top 10 in the point standings. This season he's in a new team, the 82 for Red Bull Racing, as opposed to last season when he was in the 79 for Furniture Row. And right now he's just maybe waiting for the right time to go for the move on Dylan Young. Who knows?
Well, the laps are winding down, so he can't just camp behind Dylan Young's back bumper forever. He's gonna have to make a move at one point.
And not to mention, we're probably about 3 to 4 laps away from the final pit stops of the race.
Oh, but he might make this move any moment now.
Yeah, you can tell
not.
Sekuli's definitely faster. He's been gaining 1/100th of a second each and every lap. Maybe it's like I said, maybe he's waiting to time it right. But if I were him, I'd try and do it now because it won't be long before these leaders have to come into pit road.
It looks like he's just waiting to get up on that back bumper as close as possible.
Let's see the margin. Pretty much stayed the same. Let's look at the lap times. And Sekuli was 4 1,000ths of a second faster than Dylan Young. So he's still been closing in. It's like we said, perhaps he's just waiting for the right time to strike.
Yeah, but he doesn't know for sure if he's going to come out ahead of Dylan Young once the pit stops happen.
Yeah. And also he's got the 6 of Dylan Thoreau starting to reel him in, so now this is probably going to turn into perhaps a 3-car battle for the lead, but will it last very long? Because, like I said, we are getting closer and closer to the final green flag pit stops of the race.
What lap do you suppose they'll be on?
Oh, well, here comes a few. Dylan Thoreau, the first one that comes in. Jefferson behind them, Smart, McLeod, Matthews, pretty much almost the same group from the first set of cars that pitted back around lap 19.
I think I see James Qualls coming in, another Red Bull car, but it's a bit hard to see from this angle.
That would be Kyle Matthews as well as Paul Minnick. Dylan Young's going to stay out an extra lap. So is Jessica Shelton, but here comes most of the field. Trent Dunham staying out. Quite a few, actually, going to try a different strategy for track position, which can work in some people's favors depending on lap times as well as the strategy you're going for. So
Not to mention we haven't had a caution yet, and if that comes out, this could change everything.
Yeah. And now here comes Dylan Young and everyone else on pit road. And I kind of actually see a little bit of left side damage on the 03 of Charles Sanford. And I think I just saw Dylan Jacobs teleport into pit road. I don't know if he got involved in anything on pit road with the 03 or somebody else. But no caution. We're still green.
Yeah, everyone's been driving with a very smart state of mind. We haven't had a single caution. I mean, there's a little bit of donuts on the cars from time to time, but nothing that's really changed the complexity of the race.
Oh, Dylan Young. Oh, contact with Seth Cole, but I don't know if that's going to affect him much.
I didn't see any damage, but then again, it could just be the camera angle.
But I don't know if he was the first one out or if it's Collard that got out ahead of Dylan Young, and this could be for the lead, perhaps. I don't know. There you see that donut on the side of Charles Sanford's car, and I think I know why, because look at all the skid marks in turns 3 and 4. Perhaps some contact was made with a couple cars, and I see Dylan Jacobs, he's stuck on pit road. I think he was the one who made contact with Sanford, and that's why he's been on pit road this whole time. But I think we got a new leader right now, and that's Dylan Thoreau, though barely, because Sekuli's right there, but you got Charles Sanford, who seems to be a bit off the pace now as a result of contact with possibly Dylan Jacobs or somebody else.
Yeah, Charles, love you, buddy, but stay out of the way. We got a big battle for the lead coming up.
Less than 4 laps to go, and it looks like the win's going to be settled between the top 4, Thoreau, Jefferson, Sekuli, and Cody Smart. As it's way back here, Joshua Collard in 5th. And look at Qualls, it seemed like his strategy must have worked out because he's moved up to the 6th position. As Dylan Jacobs still stuck on pit road. Tough break for the 78, who just got into the top 10 in points.
It looks like that GameStop car is making a move. That GameStop car is going to try and make a move. He tried, but didn't have the run.
Yeah, Jay Jefferson in the 87 for Furniture Row Racing. Though he's trying to use a lower lane, but the 6 came down to shut the door on him. As we're coming to the line, and there'll be 2 laps to go, and here comes the 87. He's got a run on the inside of the 6.
Well, what's that number 26 going to do? What's the number 82 going to do? They're double file.
And Jefferson takes the lead from Thoreau. As meanwhile, battle for 3rd, Sekuli in the 82 and Cody Smart in the 26. The 82 got the run on the bottom, and he's going to have him cleared by the time we get off of 4 here. But we're coming to the line for the white flag. White flag is out here for the Golden Corral 500. And all Jay Jefferson's got to do is just keep everyone behind him, and he'll get his first win of his career.
And if these guys behind him go double file or whatever, it's a game, set, and match for Jefferson. But it looks like, I guess that's the case right now. They just cannot get the run on him.
Yeah, the 87 just too strong here in the end. And we're coming out of 4 for the final time. Checkered flag waves, first time winner. Jay Jefferson wins the Golden Corral 500 at Atlanta.
Great job, Jefferson.
Jay Jefferson, already, like I said earlier, the most improved driver of the season compared to Season 3. Like I said, he missed a lot of races as a rookie last season. This season, despite missing the Daytona 500, been top 12 in points. Now he's going to move up quite a good bit since he's now a winner, finally, here in the Marvel Studios Cup Series. But let's look at the rest of the results. Dylan Thoreau, one of the front runners most of the day, comes through with a 2nd place finish. Joshua Sekuli with a great run in the 3rd spot. Highest finishing rookie, Cody Smart in 4th, and then Joshua Collard with a solid run in the top 5 and 5th. James Qualls with a great run in the 6th position. The early dominator, James McLeod, finishes in 7th. John Cittadino finishes out in 8th. Dylan Young with a great run in 9th. And then Kyle Matthews rounds out the top 10 in 10th. Rest of the top 20 was Joshua Michaels, Pichu London, Tim Fiegel, Jessica Sheldon, Trent Dunham, Preston Plord, Dougie Shears, Zachary Fitzwater, Paul Minnick, Benjamin Miles. Rest of the top 30 was Ryan Brommer, Johnny Gardner, William Brock, Matt McIntyre, Ryan George, James Shelley, Zach Flickinger, Matt Haas, Chris Dollerton, Dylan Poteet. Rest of the top 40 was Sean Galligan, Devin Becker, Anthony McCrory, Dorian Facepuncher, Jonathan Zorline, Seth Cole, Rafael LeDuc, Emmanuel Hartnett, DJ Curtis, Carson Gum, and then 2 cars a lap or more down, Charles Sanford and Dylan Jacobs. But that does it for our coverage here today at Atlanta Motor Speedway. I'd like to thank Preston Plord for stopping by.
Yeah, no problem. Always happy to do this with you. It's always a great time.
But we got a special treat for the next race coming up here in a few days. First time ever dirt track racing, as we're going to be going to Oswego Speedway, home of the Super Modifieds, for our first of 2 parts to the Napa Auto Parts Challenge. It's the Napa Auto Parts Challenge Part 1 at Oswego coming up very, very soon. But until we get to that race, here are your results, rookie points, and regular points heading into Oswego. And this is Levi McIntyre, signing off.